Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Sorry I am late. The long weekend I was out of town and didn't have time to update everything, so I was scrambling to do it between my job and now. So thank you for your patience. Hello, Joanne. Hello, Too Cool Rad. I hope all of the graphics work for me. I did not update certain things. Let me update that, because Joanne, you were the top commenter last week. Let me go ahead and put you in there. And let's just use, we'll keep VV Ryan as the new subscriber. We are still at 608 out of 600 subs. We might as well talk, well, first of all, welcome to the channel. This is a DFS strategy video for the 2023 or 2024 American Express. We're gonna go over everything that the SweetSpot process has to offer. That means going over the golf course, the tournament information. We'll look at pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. We'll also be going over the bucket system for this tournament, which is a unique tournament. We'll talk more about that during the tournament information. And then we will be building lineups at the end of the video using the optimizer that I created a long time ago. But the optimizer is great. We built a GPP winner during the Sony, during the Tournament of Champions. So we're looking to do that once again. Hopefully that happens. Outside of that, when I start building lineups, which will be probably 1 hour into this video, so if you're watching on a replay, you can just skip to the 1 hour mark. We will just kind of hang out, build lineups. Give me 2 to 4 golfers you want me to build lineups around, and I will do just that. So I know I have some emails to get to, so if you are coming in the stream and you're like, hey man, I emailed you, you know, XYZ days ago or whatever, I will get back to you. Again, I was out of town, so I apologize. Yeah, I think that's all the housekeeping items that I have to do. One quick note, I like to do giveaways. I do weekly as well as monthly giveaways, and to get into the giveaways, all you have to do is be subscribed to the channel, comment here during the live chat, you get 1 entry there. During the replay, comment on there, that gets you an additional entry. And I actually do database videos Thursday nights. During those database videos, I'm going to make that a channel membership only. So if you're not yet a member to this channel, do so, because you'll only have access to those streams being a member. And if you're a member, you're actually gonna get more opportunities to enter into those giveaways. So go and check that out. Remember, 1 entry is good enough to win the giveaway. And I might as well just put the giveaway on the screen right now for the weekly giveaway. The monthly giveaway, by the way, will happen during the first Tuesday of the next month. So we have the giveaway up right now. There were 24 entries. Lombardi Lee, by the way, got 5 entries, 5 additional entries, just by jumping into the Road to the Masters and paying attention, because I might do that. I might do this during this video where I say, all right, who's in the chat? Let me know who's still in the chat. This could come at the 1 hour mark. This could come at the 1.5 hour mark, maybe the 50-minute mark. I'm going to do it randomly. And if you raise your hand and say, I'm here, I'm going to give you an additional entry. So that way you are participating on the channel. You're watching it all the way through. This won't apply for replays. So if you are watching the replay, you're not here live, unfortunately, you do not get an additional entry that way. But I thought it was a great idea when I was doing the database video. So that is also what I'll be doing during this video. And Too Cool Rad, I was still waiting for your confirmation that you were subscribed to the channel. So I did put you in there though. You're in here a couple times, so I appreciate that. I'm gonna hit that giveaway winner. We'll put a drum roll on this. Lombardi Lee. He got it because of one of his entries into that database video. So Daryl, I actually just mentioned that. I do have some emails to get back to. I was out of town during the weekend, so I've been just scrambling to get everything done. So I was working on it yesterday. I was working on it a little bit today between work, my real job, and this. I just built the optimizer 1 minute before going on stream. Or I should say I updated the optimizer with the data for this tournament. So I will send that to you, Daryl, for sure. I will send that to you. And what Daryl's talking about is the optimizer. I will be building lineups later on in this video using this optimizer. And if you want access to it, you got to be subscribed. Got to comment here like Daryl did, or comment in the replay, and then email me at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com and I will send it to you. So that is the one way you can get access to the optimizer, or we can build lineups on stream, which I will do a lineup with JT Poston, Taylor Montgomery, and Chris Kirk. You were the first that I see. And that's my email contact right there. Email me there asking for the optimizer and I'll send it to you, as long as you're subscribed to the channel and you've participated on the channel. Lombardi Lee, reach out to me through email. It's the best way to do it. And you, sir, can get your $5 that way. I do Google Pay, I do PayPal, I do Venmo. Whatever works best for you, that is how I will send it to you. I know some people here who have won giveaways in the past were like, how about we just bank that $5 to add towards a t-shirt or a hat, anything in the future that I decide to do. I still have a ton of t-shirts that have this logo on it, so I can certainly send that to you if you'd like. Well, it costs $15 for the shirt, so if you win 2 other giveaways, we can certainly do that. Or if you just want your $5, I will send it to you Venmo, PayPal, or Google Pay. Okay. Giveaway reminders. So this was the what I call the subscriber giveaway. I also have a Prize Picks giveaway. If you sign up on Prize Picks using the promo code SweetSpot and put at least 20 bucks in your account, you're gonna get $20 back from me. Plus, you're going to get your deposit matched by Prize Picks up to $100. So basically, it's up to you, whatever you'd like to do. If you want to put 100 bucks in your account, go for it. You'll get $200 total. I mean, you'll get an additional 100, plus you'll get the $20 back from me. So it's a win-win. It's the best value when it comes to signing up for Prize Picks that you're going to find anywhere. So that's available to you. You can find a link to this in the description below. All you got to do is hit that sign up button and the SweetSpot promo code will already be populated when you do that. And then I've already mentioned the optimizer. I might as well go ahead and put the cheat sheet on the screen. If you're following along during the live version of this, during the replay version, you can follow along on this cheat sheet because I will be referencing my own. Mine looks like this. I mean, it's the same thing, but I have so many more tabs underneath here. Basically, it's the same thing. Maybe the spacing's just a little different, but it is the exact same data. You can follow along with me. There are filters that you can take advantage of. This one says DraftKings on the dream sheet. I also have the bucket system, so when we go over the bucket system, you can use that filter as well. So those are all the giveaways. You got the subscriber giveaway, you get the Prize Picks giveaway. The cheat sheet isn't a giveaway, that's free for you. And also the optimizer is not a giveaway. That is available to everybody who is subscribed to the channel and who participates through commenting either on the live video or the replay. That's how you get access to all of those pieces. So there you go. That is all that I have for giveaways and housekeeping items. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this video. And basically what I'm gonna start with, tournament fact sheets. So they look like this. But to access them, you go to the gcsaa.org. You scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll find media room, and that's where you'll find your tournament fact sheets. You can barely see it on the screen. I guess if I zoom in, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see them right there. Tournament fact sheets, media room. So go there. Let me zoom in. And you will find these, the tournament fact sheets. So the interesting thing to go along with this tournament is that there are 3 golf courses. There's not just one. You've got the Pete Dye Stadium course. That's course number 1. And then you can kind of see on these next pages, you're going to get the other golf courses that go with it. This is kind of a quirky setup. But you also get the PGA West Jack Nicklaus tournament course, and you will get the La Quinta Country Club tournament, or not tournament course, La Quinta Country Club. That's the third golf course. So you have three: Stadium, the Pete Dye Stadium, the Nicklaus Tournament, and the La Quinta Country Club. Those are your three. Now, the most important pieces of information to me are the turf grass. You're going to see this is overseeded. Personally, like I've played on overseeded golf courses, it says Poa Trivialis overseeded with rye. Treat it as if it's bent grass. It's not true bent grass. It's not true rye. It's not true Poa. But if you want them, I mean, if you have rye grass as your as a stat that you can use in your data researching, do that. I think rye is going to be the best because this acts a lot like rye, but if you don't have rye, use bent grass. Those are the two. I know, again, I know it says Poa. I know it does, but it does not act anything like the California Poa that we use for researching California golf courses. It's nothing like the Poa that's used up in the Northeast. It's nothing like the Poa you find anywhere else. It doesn't act like Poa. It doesn't have a long enough life to really like get to the profile that Poa ends up having. So just use rye or just use bent grass. Trust me, you'll thank me later. I know a lot of people out there are going to tell you to use a certain type of grass. I know more than them. I'll just say that right now. I know more than them. I went to school for golf. I had to take agronomy courses. Listen to me. Again, greens, you're going to have Poa overseed, ryegrass. Just use ryegrass. The rough here, this is a misnomer. Bermuda grass doesn't survive in the weather or the heat that's there. This will be burnt out. You're going to see this dormant, I should say. It's going to be yellow. It's going to be yellow on TV. Actually, you're not going to really see the Jack Nicklaus course. They don't ever televise that. And if they do, it's because there's a golfer going lights out. La Quinta Country Club, same thing. Well, actually, no. La Quinta Country Club is completely green. I used to live here, by the way. I used to live here for a couple years. I've been to these golf courses. La Quinta is green because they overseed everything. Mostly it's because their members from the country club pay for it. They can afford it. Lots of money in that area, by the way. And then when you go to the stadium tournament course, you're going to see, or the stadium, I keep saying tournament because of the Jack Nicklaus tournament, but you're going to see the stadium course there. And you're going to get the same profile that you're going to get at the other two courses. Well, actually, just the Nicklaus tournament course. It's going to be overseeded. Everything is. The rough is non-overseeded. You can see non-overseeded rough. That's going to be yellow. The yellow is a brittle grass. Do not look at Bermuda. Just don't do it because it doesn't act like Bermuda. Just doesn't. It looks like they do overseed some of the rough, but that's going to be with ryegrass. So again, use ryegrass or use bent grass. One of the two. And then as you go through like the tournament fact sheets, the rest of them, I mean, Architect for the stadium course, it does matter. Pete Dye, most of the Pete Dye golf courses have certain similarities, and using this as a data point for your research, good idea. Par 72, 7,100 yards. Again, you have all the other statistics you can use when researching. By all means, do so. To me, again, the most important pieces are your turf grass. Just use turf grass. I think that's going to be your best bet. You can also use tournament history, which is normally going to use these three golf courses. The only time you really didn't is in 2021. And that actually reminds me of a Twitter post that I have. Let me go ahead and throw that over here. So I on Twitter had said yesterday that people will talk about the advantage of golfers starting on certain golf courses. That would be careful, because what it actually shows me, and actually I don't even need to use this. I have this on my page right here. So what this tells me, I'll zoom in a little. when we look at, again, this is starting course. So this is Thursday's starting golf courses. You're going to see that some of the best golfers are at a particular golf course, and you're going to see top 10 finishes happen with those golf courses. Some people are going to want to say, well, it looks like La Quinta actually provides, like the La Quinta Country Club provides the most top 10 finishers, but I don't think it's, I can't think of the word, but I don't think it's like that weird that they have the best golfers starting on the La Quinta Country Club. It's the easier of the 3 golf courses. Those golfers that the best golfers in the field, they want to give an advantage to. And starting out the first day with the easiest golf course usually ends up being the best way to go about this tournament. So a lot of people will tell you, focus on this course, focus on that course. Well, I think it just depends. I mean, La Quinta is the easiest, followed by, actually, I think it's really close between the Nicklaus tournament course as well as the stadium course. But how it used to be was La Quinta, Nicklaus tournament, and then stadium course. Stadium course being the toughest of the 3. I don't have scoring, like what the average score is at each of these courses. So if you're doing Showdown, I know Back9Bets, he did something on Twitter. I think he'd be a good follow to find out the scoring averages between the 3 golf courses. But when it comes to selecting your players for the weekly aspect of DFS, don't get cute. Just stick to quality golfers. I know I heard this around the industry. It's a volatile tournament. You're going to have people from 100 to 1 coming in and winning this thing. Sure, that's possible. I don't think that's going to happen this week. I don't care with how the volatility. I think the top guys in the field when we get there are all good fits for this tournament, especially when it comes to scoring. I wouldn't get too cute. I mean, yeah, you're going to need those 6K golfers in your laps. You're going to need those 7K golfers in your laps like you do every single week. I wouldn't get too gung-ho about it. We'll go over past optimal and GPP winning lineups where you're going to see owning a 10K golfer is going to be just fine. Owning a 9K golfer is going to be just fine. And again, top 50. So when you look at this, I'm looking at top 50 OWGR in the field. This is a total count. And then how many of those finish inside the top 10? I mean, when it comes to starting at La Quinta, it's better than any of the other 2 courses, you know, when we look at it comparatively to each other. So maybe that's something you can look at. You know, we didn't have La Quinta in 2021. So like the OWGR was pretty split on average between the 2 courses. But yeah, you get, I mean, top 50 in the world starting at La Quinta. That might be where we anchor our lineups around. That's probably the best. And oh, by the way, this average OWGR, I only record top 300 on my spreadsheets. So just to show you what that looks like, if I go to 2024 and I scroll over to this right here, if I scroll down, you're going to see some zeros, like 0 points. Actually, you're also going to find, this is the column I really want you to look at. There's empty spots. Like Harrison Endicott is like what? Just ranked over 300. Could actually be less than. I forgot to update it this last week. I just came to realize I forgot to update it this week. So I'm a week behind, but rankings don't really change all that much. So the strength of field might be a little bit different. But as you can see, I don't record anything higher than 300. 300 is the highest ranking that any of these golfers are going to show on my spreadsheet. So when you look at the strength of field, when I had posted this only top 300, that's what I mean. And you can see like the average OWGR of the top 300 in the field still is pretty high when it comes to the stadium course. And I think the tournament does that on purpose. I think they want the lesser known guys to start on the stadium course for multiple reasons. One, I think it will get them behind the 8 ball, and trying to play catch up is a lot more challenging than starting at La Quinta where you kind of get a head start. So I think there's a little politics that go behind it, but so be it. You always, I think every tournament you want your best golfers to get an advantage to some extent, because we want to watch them on the weekend. And by the way, this is a 3-course tournament, meaning there's going to be 3 rounds played before a cut. Forgot to mention that earlier on. So keep that in mind. But when it comes to which players you select, I think maybe focus on top 500 or the top 50 OWGR in the field that are starting at La Quinta, because it seems to be the best marker of success. It appears that way. So I just wanted to go over that really quickly. When we look at the tournament, there's 156 golfers in the field. I already mentioned it's going to be a 3-day event before the cut, so keep that in mind. And it's going to be I think it's top 60 in ties, it could be top 50 in ties. Oh my god, I should have looked that up, but because it's a 3-day event, I think they limit the amount of golfers that make the cut. When we get into these pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, I think you're going to find one of the years a golfer had missed the cut in a GPP winning lineup, because having three events, with the stadium course being the 4th event, the stadium course doesn't really give up a lot of birdies. So when a golfer plays that course, if you think about it, DraftKings scoring, if you had 18 pars, you're getting a half a point for a par. So that ends up being a golfer scored 9 points during that event, for that event. But you also get the bogey free bonus, which would be 3 added points. So that's 12. So you could go 17. You could go 16 pars, a birdie, and a bogey. And basically what you'd get is 8 points plus 3, which is 11, minus 0.5. So I think the lowest amount of points you could get if you went all pars with 1 birdie, 1 bogey would be 10.5. So if you're only getting 10.5 points and someone just goes birdie barrage and then makes like a quintuple bogey or, you know, something egregious to miss the cut, their score is still going to be better for the three days than that golfer that made the cut and had a bad round 4. So just keep that in mind. That is possible. And again, we'll actually look at that during the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. I'm pretty sure I remember from last year I talked about the same exact thing. So I think this concludes the tournament and golf course information portion. I'm gonna just say hi to Gabe. What's going on? Are you staying in chat this week, or are you gonna take off early and watch it in the morning? If so, obviously leave your golfers you want me to build lineups around, and I will do just that. Okay, so let's get to the next portion, which is pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, sponsored by our friends at the Fantasy Golf Pod. So we start in 2018, looking at the optimal lineup, leaving $2,300 on the table. $2,300 is a lot of money to leave on the table. And it consists of Jon Rahm at $11,800. So if you're wondering if you should play a 10K golfer, yeah, you could play a 10K golfer. Andrew Landry at 73, Adam Hanwin at 76, Martin Pillar at 67, John Huh at 66, and Kevin Chappell at 77. If you've been around this channel long enough, you know I usually like to say, start your lineups with a template. That template is a 10K golfer, a 9K golfer, an 8K golfer, 2 7Ks, and then a 6K golfer. Or a more fast way to say that is a 10-9-8-7-7-6 approach. This one starts with the 10. We got that one. It's actually 11-8. But we don't have a 9, we don't have an 8. Instead, we have 3 7s and 2 6s. 3 7s and 2 6s. So I think that obviously is a possibility here. And when people say this is a volatile tournament, this is proof that this is a volatile tournament. So let's keep that in mind when building lineups. Now, a more realistic lineup is actually using 1 11K golfer and then 5 7K golfers. That's kind of funny. In fact, we don't even see our first 8K or 9K golfer until 14th place. 2 of them tied there. Our first 9K golfers in 20th place. That's interesting. In 2019, your optimal lineup left a lot of money on the table. It left $4,300 on the table. Started with a $6,200 winner in Adam Long, but then it had another 10K golfer in that lineup. It also had a $9,500 golfer in Phil Mickelson, 64, 64, and 72. So that's 3 6K golfers in an optimal lineup. Let's not do that. I don't think that's super smart. Probably want to stay away from that. But a more realistic lineup's only leaving $400 on the table, and that starts with an 11K golfer, a 9K golfer, 6, 6, 7, 8. So that's a different way to say that's 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 6. And I think that's actually a reasonable way to start your lineups when being built. I think there might be a different way to build that. It looks like there's other possibilities where you could use these 3. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just kidding. Oh. So you could use 2 10K golfers, a 9K golfer, 2 6s, and a 7. That would work. So again, a different way to say that. 2 10s, a 9, a 7, and 2 6s. In 2020, your optimal lineup left a lot of money on the table once again. You had you left $5,500 on the table. That's unrealistic. And that one had Andrew Landry at $6,500, Abe Ancer 89, Scotty Scheffler at 95, Bud Cauley at 73, Sepp Straka at 62, and Sebastian Kaplan at $6,100. Now a more realistic lineup starts with an 11-5 Ricky Fowler, Scotty at 9, Abe at 8, a 7, and then 2 6s. I marked the wrong one, and this uses up 49,900. Your GPP winning lineup that year actually had Andrew Landry. I believe the quarter arcade that year was won by Stewie. Man, I forget Stewie's last name, but he's Scott Stewart or Stewart Scott. I can't remember, one of the two. And I think he won it because he had Landry in his lineup. But anyways, $6,500 Andrew Landry, $9,500 Scotty Scheffler, $7,300 Bud Cauley, Sungjae Im at $11,000, Brian Harman at $8,600, and Cameron Tringali at 71. So that started 11, 9, 8, 7, 2 7s and a 6. So that's basically 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. Because you had Sungjae at 11, which is technically your 10K golfer. Scotty at 9. 8K was Brian Harman. You had a 7K golfer up here with Bud Cauley and a 7K golfer down here with Cameron Tringali. And then you had Andrew Landry, and that used up $50,000 of the salary. So that was your 2020 optimal lineup. 2021 left $0 on the table for your optimal. That was another 11K golfer in Patrick Cantlay. 82, Siwoo Kim. 77, Cam Davis. 91, Abe Ancer. 71, Michael Thompson. And 68, Doug Ghim. So what do we see there? 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. That's your optimal lineup. Your GPP winning lineup used Tony Finau at 10-5, Abe Ancer at 91, Harman at 81, Siwoo Kim at 82, Benny Ann at 7,000, and then Matt Jones at $7,100. So again, kind of following the 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6, but we don't have a 6. We just have 2 7s and we have 2 8s. So different ways to get there, but still kind of following the same template. In 2022, our optimal lineup left $7,000 on the table. Don't do that. That's unrealistic. That's not smart. Don't do it. But the optimal started with 67, 71, 79, 75, 64, 74. So no one in the 8K range, no one in the 9K range, no one in the 10K range. Your GPP winning lineup left $300 on the table. It actually started with John Rahm down here, who finished 14th place. But we start there. And then, let's see, I'm trying to work this out. All right, let's just do all the 7s. You got Harold Varner, Griffin, Harmon, and Swafford at 67. If I scroll down here, there's Christian Bezuidenhout at $8,700. So it's just missing a 9K golfer, but that goes 10, 8, 3 sevens, and a 6. That was your GPP winning lineup. And then the more realistic lineup actually left $800 on the table. And that started with a 10-9 Patrick Cantlay, $9,100 Will Zalatoris, 3 sevens, and a 6. So it's just missing an 8K golfer. With $800 on the table, you could actually move Lanto Griffin down to Siwoo Kim, and that way you'd get a 10-9-8-7-7-6. Let's see how many points that would actually score. Scored 721.5 points. Your GPP winning lineup scored 670.5. So there you go. You go 10-9-8-7-7-6 there. That would be a smart way to go. And then in 2023, your optimal lineup actually only left $200 on the table. And it started with a 10-8 John Rahm, $6,900 Davis Thompson, $10,000 Xander Schauffele, $7,500 Chris Kirk, $8,000 JT Poston, and a $6,600 Matty Schmid. So that's 10-10, 8-7, 6-6. Very interesting way to build lineups, but you can sub up a 9K up to another 10, which that's obviously what happened there. And then we have our 8, we have our 7, but we drop a 7 down to a 6. So 2 substitutions, like I usually say, make 2 substitutions, and sure enough, that happened. Your GPP winning lineup only left $100 on the table, and it went Rahm at 10-8, $8,900 Taylor Montgomery, $8,200 Adam Hadwin, $7,600 Thomas Dietrich, $7,500 Chris Kirk, and $6,900 Davis Thompson. You're missing a 9K golfer, but you have 2 8Ks. So it goes, let's do this a different way. 10, 8, 8, 7, 7, 6. So we made that one substitution, but it's basically 10, 9, 8, 7, 7, 6. And then the SweetSpot Optimal, which I was recording last year, started with Rahm, and then it had Tom Kim in it. So 10-9, JT Poston at 8, $7,900 Justin Rose. And remember, this is following the SweetSpot process. $7,900 Justin Rose, $6,600 Matty Schmid, and $6,900 Davis Thompson. That scored 813.5 points. The GPP winning lineup scored 810. So following the SweetSpot process last year, you would have won a GPP winning lineup in the $5 Drive the Green. And that concludes the GPP winning and optimal lineups for this event, or past optimal and GPP winning lineups. Now we can move on to the bucket system. Actually, you know what? Let's actually review the I was gonna hit the review button, but I know there's a thumbnail behind it that's not supposed to be the thumbnail that I want. Either way, we will review the Sony Open just so you guys can see how well the SweetSpot process did. Okay, so when it comes to the Sony Open, the 2 things I want to look at: the bucket system for the Sony Open, see which ones were successful, and actually I'll show you how this is done because I don't have it updated. Like I said, I was in a rush to get this all done. So basically what I'll do, I'll open up these 2 columns. This shows me the optimal lineup and the SweetSpot optimal. This is all color coded, so all these little black tick marks are the optimal lineup. So it's pretty easy. I'm not going to waste much of your time. I apologize for not having this done beforehand, but like I said, I was in a hurry. What I'll do, center these. Let's go nose down to here, and then we'll go nose down to here. Make this a Y, that a Y, and then it's nose all the way down. That's the easy way to update this. So we go back to the summary and we'll have everything populated in here perfectly. Okay, so at first glance, looks like we had 4 buckets that failed. Just really, oh, nope, never mind. We didn't have recent form last week because the tournaments, there was only one other event prior to that one, and I only use recent form if there's at least 2 events that most of the field has played. So when we look at this, it's 100% success rate. Sony Open was 100% successful when it comes to the buckets. And again, I project how many golfers I think are going to be inside the top 10 for that event in each of these buckets. So for golfers who top 20 the year before, so we're looking at this first bucket, just so you're aware, of golfers who top 20 the year before. Remember, this is the 2024 Sony Open we're looking at. So golfers who are in the 2023 Sony Open that finished inside the top 20, I had projected 1 to 3 of them were going to finish inside the top 10. All 3 did finish inside the top 10. 1 finished in the optimal lineup and 2 finished in the sweet spot optimal. So I had all of my bases covered. If you wanted to choose 1, there's a chance you could have hit. 3, you could have hit. 2, you could have hit. And again, that projection was 1 to 3. So that's how all of these projections look like. And again, it's all based off of how many golfers are inside the top 10, as well as in the optimal lineup. That determines the success of the buckets. So just to show you a different way, if I scroll over, Benny Ann in the 2024 event finished, let's do this. And then scroll over. So in the 2024 event, he finished 2nd. In the 2023 event, he was 12th. So there you go. That's what I'm talking about for bucket 1. And when we look at all the optimal lineup golfers, there are all these golfers here in the black tick marks. You can see what their finishes were from last year. So it says 3 were in the optimal lineup. Is that correct? Oh, 3 in the top 10. 1 was in the optimal lineup. Yeah, that makes sense. And you can see right here. So Nick Taylor was one of them. So too was Andrew Putnam. So there were 3 that finished inside the top 20 the year before that finished inside the top 10. That's how the bucket system works. That's how I'll be talking about here in the American Express. I love the bucket system because it accurately predicts how many golfers will be inside the top 10 from each of the buckets, which helps you limit the amount of golfers to build around. For instance, if I were to just look at that last year 1 bucket, and you said, I want to build a Corey Connors lineup, Chris Kirk, Benny Ann, Siwoo Kim, and Matt Kuchar lineup. Please put those golfers together. I would highly advise not to. Primarily because I'm not predicting that many guys to be inside the top 10. And if you want to win a GPP, you're going to want all 6 of your golfers inside the top 10 or very close to being inside the top 10. So that's why I go over what I go over. And that's why I say what I say. Like, you want somewhere between 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket. And this is the bucket. It has these 19 golfers in it. So if you're looking for like a 6K golfer to just add to your lineup, that's fine. Obviously, you're gonna have to figure out what the right one was, and it looks like none of the 6K golfers were the right choices. But it also helps you refrain from grabbing too many golfers. So if you did go Corey Connors, Chris Kirk, or how about, let's make a really good lineup. Let's say you went Benny Ann, Nick Taylor, and how about Taylor Montgomery? Those 3 golfers. They all finished really well, and you had a lot of money left over. But let's say your optimizer or whatever spits out Hayden Buckley. Now you're going one too many. What would you rather sub out? Do you want to sub out a Nick Taylor and just keep in Hayden Buckley, Montgomery, and Benny Ann? Or, you know, like, those are the choices you have to make. So that's why I like the bucket system. And again, 100% success rate at the Sony Open. Normally, I never see anything lower than 93%. There will be 1 or 2 buckets that might not hit the mark. The 30 buckets that we looked at last week, they all hit the mark. Now, the last piece that goes with that is looking at the Marquee Tee Times. And the Marquee Tee Times are the best groups that are paired up together Thursday, Friday. That's how it goes. And it's based off of the SweetSpot ranks. And the SweetSpot ranks have the same ranking or the same model every single week, so it's consistent. Basically, what I do is I group rank all the golfers in the field, and what we want to see is somewhere between 2 to 4 golfers that made the optimal lineup, that hit the optimal lineup. And if we did, we can cross this off as 100% successful. If not, then unfortunately it was not successful, unless the SweetSpot optimal actually did take down a GPP. So in order to find the optimal lineup, we got to find the little black tick mark. We only have one golfer that was in the optimal lineup from the Marquee Tee Times. So that's unfortunate. However, you can see 3 golfers in the SweetSpot Optimal were in the Marquee Tee Times. You also see 2 golfers that were in the GPP winning lineup following the SweetSpot process. Don't put, the same golfers together. That won the GPP. So let's go take a look at the GPP as well as the SweetSpot Optimal. Now, the optimal lineup left a lot of money on the table. Hard to get to, but it scored 692.5 points. I'm not going to talk about that. Your GPP winning lineup used up all $50,000 of the salary, and it scored 659.5. So again, optimal scored 692.5. The GPP winning lineup scored 659.5. All that the SweetSpot Optimal has to do is beat the GPP winning lineup, and the whole SweetSpot process was successful for the week. So again, 659.5. The SweetSpot Optimal scored 660 points. So we beat it by 0.5. So 100% successful. And you can see the golfers that were in the SweetSpot Optimal. You can see the golfers that were in the GPP winning lineup, which was phenomenal. He had all 6 golfers inside the top 10. The SweetSpot Optimal did not. The SweetSpot Optimal had to grab a guy in 13th place as well as in 18th place, but they all scored enough points because it also included Grayson Murray, who was your winner. So, pretty darn good. And that concludes the review of the Sony Open. If it doesn't give you enough confidence to use the SweetSpot process, I don't know what will. We have a 100% success rate for the Sony Open. We built a GPP winner for the Century Tournament of well, the Century. Sorry, it's not the Tournament of Champions anymore, but the Century. So it's pretty darn good. Which brings us to the bucket system for the 2024 American Express. So I will go to the summary and we'll take a look at this. You can follow along with me on the cheat sheet, by the way. And I'm actually going to hide these 2 columns, add these 4 columns as well, and bring this into play, into picture. So if you want to follow along with me on the cheat sheet, all you got to do is go to the filter, the bucket system, and basically filter out all the things that I have filtered out. So I'm not going to use recent form this week. Next week will be the first week I do use the recent form buckets, so we can filter that out. Go ahead, hit that bucket system, and I already have it filtered out. So go ahead and do that when you're following along with me. Again, cheat sheet, the link for the cheat sheet can be found in the description below. So how this reads, there are 6 buckets per stat category that I'm using. I've got last year as a stat, last week as a stat, course history, salary, and strokes gained. Now the strokes gained buckets, you're going to have to watch the video that I have in the description below. There's a link for that. That'll explain what the strokes gained buckets are all about. You also don't need to care about the bucket system if you have the optimizer, because that's all built in here. All of my conditionals for the buckets are right here in the optimizer. So Daryl Mooney, I will get you your optimizer when we get to building, because I will build it out for you and send it to you. But basically, if you're just following along, you can follow very simple instructions by going to that cheat sheet and looking at the projections. And how it works is, if I'm looking at this first bucket like we did during the review, last year ones, so golfers who top 20 at the American Express in 2023, that's what I'm looking for. I am projecting somewhere between 1 to 4, which is, it's barely 4, by the way, 3.01. And the reason why is everything in this column we round up. So believe it or not, 3.01 gets rounded up to 4. It's very close to 3. It's much closer to 3 than it is to 4, but we still round up because it's the buffer we want. But we also have 1. We round down when it comes to the minimum projection. So that's 1. Now there's going to be times where you're going to see something like this. When I look at this bucket here, the last year 3 bucket, you see how it says 0.43 to 0.72? Well, if you follow what I just said, that means this minimum would be 0. The maximum would be 1. But there always has to be a 2-point buffer between the two. So 0 to 2 is what the actual projection is. And I also like to use this column all the way over here, which is my conservative maximum projection, and that's 1.06. So that jumps up to 2. So hopefully, I mean, if you guys have any more questions, leave them in the chat here. Email me at SweetSpotDFS@gmail.com. I will answer you that way. Let me go ahead and get those emails up. Actually, I don't know where they went. Okay. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm only going to talk about kind of the anchor buckets. So the anchor buckets to me are the buckets you want to highlight when building lineups. You want to focus on. And the way you can do this on the cheat sheet, go into the filter for max projection. Go into that filter, filter by condition. We're going to go greater than or equal to 2. And then one easier way to really find true anchor plays. Now, technically, these are all the anchor buckets right here. But what I like to do is narrow it down even more to find the true anchor plays I want. I want this to be less than or equal to 30. It's like 25 to 30, somewhere in there, I think is the best way to look. And then we get 4 buckets that we can focus on. These are the true anchor buckets. So last year ones, we want golfers who finish somewhere between 1st to 20th place. And we want to roster somewhere between 1 to 4 of these guys in our lineups. Now, again, this is a projection of what's going to finish inside the top 10. It does not mean you can play 4 golfers or even 3 golfers because they might be too highly priced. So let's just take a look. I'll go 2024. The best way to do this when you're following along with me is put a filter on this. I'm going to sort salary top to bottom. And then I'm going to go into this last year column, clear everything out, and just select one. And just to confirm, if I scroll over to the right, this column here will tell me their finishing place last year. And it should be somewhere between 1st to 20th. We don't have the defending champ because he went to live. That was John Rahm. But you can see Scotty Scheffler finished 11th here last year. Xander Schauffele finished 3rd. Sungjae Im finished 18th. They all fit in this bucket. Now, it is possible those 3 golfers finished 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Now, the probability is not very high, but it's possible. And if that were to happen, really depending on the finishes, I shouldn't even say that. If that were to happen, you probably don't want to play Scheffler. Unless he finishes 1st and he just outpaces everybody by like 10 shots. Not even 10 shots, probably like 5 shots. Because 2nd place isn't that far behind with point totals when it comes to DraftKings points. Same goes with 3rd. So really, you'd only want to roster 2 of these guys. But if these 3 did finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and they're the only golfers out of the rest of them to finish inside the top 10, this bucket would be 100% successful, but you'd only really be able to play 2 of them, not 3 of them. So I want to make that very clear. It's what I had to learn early on when I was doing the bucket system. I'm like, oh, no. We need to make sure we find at least 3 guys. Well, and oh, by the way, these 3 could finish inside the top 10. And let's just say Scotty finishes 10th, Xander finishes 9th, Sungjae wins the tournament. He might be the only guy you want to play from this bucket, because trying to roster him and the other 2 might not give you enough points to take down a GPP. Keep that in mind as well. But if I was looking at this bucket, I mean, first of all, Scotty Scheffler's, it's hard to pass up 11-4. This tournament, when we looked at the pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, showed that having an 11K golfer, not a terrible thing. In fact, there's a lot of success with the favorite golfer in the event finishing inside the top 10. And by the way, I get it, Scotty at 11-4. If he doesn't finish 5th or best, it might be a bust. However, I would much rather have that. Well, let's put it this way. If he finishes like 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or even 10th place, and you've got the right combination of 5 golfers up top, or 4 or even 3. If you had the right combination of 3 golfers inside first, second, third, or first through 5th place, and then Scotty in 10th place, you're probably still winning a GPP. In fact, we just went over that in the past optimal and GPP winning lineups. If I were to look, so Sung Jae right here, $11,000. He finished 10th place. He was in the GPP winning lineup in 2020. I don't think we have that anywhere else. Yeah, we do. 9th place, Patrick Cantlay. That golfer had the right 5 golfers up top. Like, so it's possible, and I don't think you have to. But, oh, here's another one. John Rahm, 11-3, finished 14th place and still won the $5 GPP. So again, it's the right combination. Just because Scotty's 11-4 does not mean he's too expensive. Let's put it that way. Or that he won't pay off his price tag. He could finish 18th place and still win you a GPP as long as you've got the right 5 golfers to go with him. So don't be afraid to play Scotty. I don't mind Xander here. I don't mind Sung Jae. They're 1st, 3rd, and 4th in my model. Lots of love for Tom Kim. I'll pass on him. I don't care. And oh, by the way, did you watch the strength of field thing that I covered? Remember, we want strength of field, top 50 in OWGR. So like, let's say we have all of these golfers here are top 50 in the OWGR. You can see that right here in this column. They're all in the top 50. Let's find the ones that start at La Quinta. Chris Kirk, Finau, Burns, Day, Schauffele, and Scheffler. I mean, already it's like, yeah, I don't mind starting my lineups with some of these guys. First, like 1, 2, 3 golfers doesn't really matter to me. I don't mind starting my lineups with these guys. Now we can take a look at the other golfers in the other buckets. So we go back to our bucket system page, go to course history 2s. We want somewhere between 1 to 3. 1 to 3 course history 2s. So clear out all of the other filters and we'll just put course history 2 on here. And we get Scotty Scheffler, Patrick Cantlay, Jason Day, golfers we've already seen in bucket 1. In fact, all the golfers we saw in bucket 1, Christian Bezuidenhout, Eric Van Rooyen, JT Poston, Tony Finau, Sam Burns, Jason Day, Scotty Scheffler. Now, if you want to combine the buckets, I used to do that, and I probably will look into doing that. If you're going to do this, I would probably also focus on the La Quinta golfers that are starting in La Quinta that are inside the top 50 of the OWGR. So Christian Bezuidenhout, he's what, 109. Alex Smalley, by the way, 54th. Again, these haven't. I'm a week behind in updating these, but you're not going to change very far. These golfers right here, kind of digging it. Anchoring around one of them, if not 2 of them, is probably the way to go. Personally, I'm kind of liking Patrick Cantlay, Tony Finau start. Maybe a Patrick Cantlay, Sam Burns start. I also don't mind going Scotty Scheffler with Day, Burns, or Finau. That seems pretty good. I don't mind that at all. So again, you want 1 to 3 golfers from this bucket. Now, salary 1 says you want a 10K golfer, and I don't really like to look into strokes gain buckets, but let's just do it. Let's take a look. So here are all of our strokes gain 2 golfers. If you didn't already know, these are all color coordinated based off of the strokes gain stats. And I mean, I like Min-Woo Lee. Not starting at the course I want, but that doesn't really matter. Really doesn't matter. I like that. But again, now you have Sam Burns, who's now showed up in all 3. So too is Jason Day. They're in all 3 of the buckets that we deemed as our anchor buckets. Some other really interesting names, like I don't mind Tom Kim. I like Min-Woo Lee, like I said. Pendrith, $7,800 is maybe too expensive. We like Adam Schenk. I like Austin Eckroat. Those are good names. I don't mind choosing them. SH Kim is usually always a flat 7K, which is kind of funny. I don't mind playing him either. I'm not going to focus on the cheap guys being at La Quinta. I think I mean, Vince Whaley I like, but I just don't think I want to. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't. If I'm going to focus on golfers that are starting at La Quinta, it's going to be golfers inside the top 50 of the OWGR. And again, I'm showing you the same thing. Of 8 golfers that were in the OWGR, 3 of them are top 50 OWGR, 3 of them finished inside the top 10. That's half of what finished inside the top 10. So maybe I'll actually fall back on that. 8, 2, and 6. 7, 4, 7. Crazy. So there were 7 golfers from La Quinta that finished inside the top 10. 4 of them were in the top 50 of the OWGR. 6 and 2, and then 6 and 3. So maybe we do grab some of those other guys. Maybe Vince Whaley is the man. The golfer to add out of this bucket. I like him. I like Min Woo Lee. And remember, the projection from this bucket's 1 to 3. Seems pretty consistent with top 5 frequencies. We've seen up to 3 in the optimal lineup. By the way, of the other 2 buckets, we've seen up to 2 for 10K golfers and course history 2 golfers in the optimal lineup, and we've always seen 1. Last year 1 in the optimal, and a max of 1. Frequency 100%. Top 5 frequency, well, we've seen 0 to 3, so we've seen a max of 3. Success rate's not super high, but having 1 all the time inside or in the optimal lineup, that's the ticket. Optimal lineup. Those are your anchor buckets. I kind of went out of order. Now I want to talk about the Marquee Tee Times, and I kind of like it this way better. Now that we've seen every piece, Marquee Tee Times is going to bring it all in together. So actually, let me double check last year, 2023. When we look at Marquee Tee Times from 2023. Yeah, so I did the same thing. Perfect. And we had 3 golfers in the optimal lineup. So my worry was we only have golfers paired up in twosomes. But remember, this is a pro-am. So they're playing with 2 amateur golfers throughout the event for the first 3 rounds. So until the cut happens, I don't think they play with them a 4th round. I could be wrong. They might. It doesn't really matter, though, to be quite honest. So yeah, when we look at the Marquee Tee Times, the first thing that I notice is how many golfers are starting at La Quinta, the starting course. I'm actually really excited about this because okay, so that was 2023. I showed you the Marquee Tee Times from 2023. What about 2022? I don't know if I had Marquee Tee Times in 2022. I kind of did, but kind of did not. So if I filter by color, we're gonna see like these are the better golfers. It's only 1. I don't know how I did this, I guess, in 2022. I did do Marquee Tee Times. I don't even remember how I did it though. I think I went by I think it was DraftKings points, if I remember correctly. So I don't know if that really worked out. But there's a lot of dark green that would indicate these are our Marquee Tee Times. Each of these golfers finishing inside the top 14. Rahm was in a GPP winning lineup, so too was Lonto Griffin. But Lonto was the only optimal lineup golfer that was in the Marquee Tee Times. So take that with whatever you'd like, however you'd like. Personally, for me, I am going to choose 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and that's usually what I ask you guys. Find me 2 to 4 golfers you want me to build lineups around that follow the sweet spot process. Here you go. We've talked about anchor buckets, or we just went over the anchor buckets. Now we're in the Marquee Tee Times. Select 2 to 4 golfers from here to build lineups around, because we're going to build lineups right after I'm done talking about the Marquee Tee Times. Scheffler and Cantlay, they're in Group 1. They're the best. They're the best two golfers in the field. In my model, I think just arguably you could say they're the best two golfers in the field, and they're playing together. Hard not to think one of these guys is going to win the tournament, if not finish inside the top 5, if not be in the optimal lineup. So I think I would much rather start my lineups there. And oh, by the way, if you went Scotty, we talked a lot about Tony Finau. Tony Finau would work pretty darn well with those two. But you can also go 2 10K golfers if you want to go Cantlay and Xander. That's very much on the table. However, if you wanted to, again, Marquee Tee Times, 2 to 4 golfers. So if I was being realistic, I wouldn't mind starting with Scotty or Xander. And like Eric Cole really has my attention. So too does Adam Schenk. Wouldn't mind playing one of those guys. Minwoo Lee also has my attention. Cam Davis has my attention. I'm probably going to stay away from the other guys down here. Don't really care. JT has my attention. Fowler has my attention. I actually don't mind going back to someone like Chris Kirk. Wyndham Clark is 8th in my model, but I'm not sure how much I trust playing Wyndham Clark here. So if I was actually building a lineup of the Marquee Tee Times, I think I want to start like Scheffler, just for sure. Oh, well, first of all, it's Scheffler or Cantlay, and I'm going to go with Minwoo. Like, that's kind of how I'm going to start my lineups. And then I'm going to let the optimizer do its thing. If it grabs Tony Finau, awesome. If it doesn't, that's fine. That might be a little too rich to build lineups around, but maybe he goes Eric Cole. I mean, geez. Scotty, Scheffler, Minwoo Lee, Eric Cole seems like a pretty darn good start. I want to see what my dummy lineup has. I actually have Cantlay, Minwoo Lee, Adam Hadwin, Will Zalatoris. Wow. Adam Hadwin just outside of the Marquee Tee Times. Interesting. Okay. I was close. I mean, I think this is a really good Eric Cole setup, but hey, Adam Schenk also in that group, not terrible. And remember, you want to find some, yeah, I guess I want to start around La Quinta golfers inside the top 50. Let's just do that really quick. I want to look at La Quinta golfers. And I'm going to put a conditional in the OWGR. By the way, you can do this on the cheat sheet. Again, link in the description. Filter by condition, less than or equal to 50. Short list. Short list. 12 golfers to select from. Find 2 golfers from here. I think if you find 2 golfers from here to build your lineups around, I think you're just fine. And by the way, a lot of them are in the Marquee Tee Times. You can see the dark color over here. They're in the Marquee Tee Times. I might just float around with so many different combinations of 2. And they're all in groups together. There's 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, and then 5. I mean, Sam Burns isn't in the Marquee Tee Time, so it could work out that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. He can be in a lineup, and you have Scheffler Burns. I love that. Shot like Harden. All right. Well, I mean, that covers the sweet spot process. I've given you all the keys that I think will help us build an optimal lineup. Let's try to build an optimal lineup. So I'd asked you guys, give me 2 to 4 golfers to build lineups around. And we're going to start with Daryl Mooney with his lineups. I'm going to actually take these filters off. Just go top to bottom so we can kind of come back and forth. I'm going to do something really quick. I am going to build out an optimizer for you guys to use. I did see Joshua Maz come through. Josh, are you in the chat and you're not saying anything? If so, how dare you? How dare you? Okay. So basically what I'm gonna do, you're gonna see how I update this behind the scenes. Do that. And this is just all items that you guys can use. Tabs that you can use on the cheat sheet. I do have to update the dream sheet portion. So what I will do is actually use the cheat sheet because that's the best thing for me to copy down. Scroll all the way over here. Copy all of this. This goes right into the optimizer like so. Strength of field, I think it's actually 437, which is kind of interesting. I think it's 437. It is. Cool. I think everything is updated properly. Yep. I'm gonna go golf course is perfect. That's all updated. And then I add the bucket system information to this. All I gotta do is copy this portion of the cheat sheet. Once again, cheat sheet is everything you guys need. And then it's the American Express. And then the last thing that I do, so based off of what's in the bucket system, I build up my exposure levels. Now you can do it however you like, but I would much rather use the numbers of success versus the projected ownership of certain sites. Basically, I just copy that over into here and everything gets updated. And then we have our max projections right here. So I like to use best. Best is just the easiest way to do it, in my opinion. It limits, it can cap some of your projections. And actually, you know what I want to do is use the max for these. Actually, it is the max. I don't really have to change anything. It's pretty... All right. I like it. I don't have to do anything. So this optimizer is ready for everyone. Let's just run optimizer just to make sure it works and it doesn't break. And it doesn't. By the way, there's your most optimal lineup right there. Scheffler, Fowler, Mitchell, Kuchar, Suh, and Blair. I don't hate it, so don't love it. All right, so I'll save that. I'm going to send that out to Daryl. You get one. You get an optimizer, and you get an optimizer. All right, Daryl, it's been sent. Joshua, let me send it to you as well, sir. By the way, if you have any questions on how to use it, I do have a how-to in the description, how to use the optimizer. It'll go through everything you need to know. Everything. Mr. Delo, you said, does the optimizer provide a CSV file? It does not. That's actually a good question. I could create one. I can make it create one. But when we go and we actually build these lineups, you're going to see them saved here. So like this one here, if I go ahead and hit save lineup, what you can do, so I have this right here. I think one of the most recent ones, maybe I open this one. You're going to see what my, all the dummy lineups that I have saved. So if you delete all of that and say you delete all of this, basically what you can do, copy this, just the names, copy this right over to here. And then you save this from DraftKings and you send it out. Cause like, I don't think the optimizer is going to ever know what contest you're a part of, by the way. So it's available to you. That's one thing I love about this optimizer is it does stuff like that. And actually, I'm going to keep that right there. It's going to be our first lineup built. And it builds unique lineups. That's the other thing that I like about this. It builds unique lineups. It'll go in and mark a no for other people. So, and you can change your minimum salaries, your max salaries. I personally don't like to leave a lot of money on the table. I've done this for so long, looking at optimal, like pass optimal and GPP winning lineups. Most GPPs don't leave more than $200, $300 on the table. Most SweetSpot optimals don't leave more than $200 to $400 on the table. Like sometimes when I'm building lineups, I get really strict and I go 49.6. Now it doesn't really give me the best opportunity of winning a GPP hitting the optimal. I think leaving $800 on the table probably does. But I just want to win a GPP. I'm aiming for the optimal lineup, but if I don't hit it and I win the GPP instead, I'm not too upset. Like, I'd rather win thousands of dollars than shoot and strike out all the time. So, you're welcome, man. That was to Josh, FR leader, first round leader. Good. That's good to know. I can't believe you have that as a Gmail. That's amazing. That guy got it before anyone else could. First round leader. You know what I should do? I should probably put this on Twitter, right? Probably try to get all the Yahoos to come over and if you guys aren't aware, there are channel memberships for this channel. I know a lot of people don't like paying for stuff, but I do give out giveaways that can help pay for it if you think about it. So if you're not a channel member, hit that little join button. You'll get some cool emojis. If Mr. Shot Like Harden, if you want to showcase the sweet emojis you can use, that'd be much appreciated. Shot Like Harden being the first member of the SweetSpot Society. But again, you do you guys. Like, if it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. That is totally fine. I have to just shoot my shot, you know. No. I am putting this to Twitter right meow. There you go. Maybe we get some other users in here looking for some lineups. Thank you all for the lineups. We got a couple. We got a few up here. All right, so we're going to pin the first one. And the first lineup goes to Daryl Mooney. Daryl wants to see a Poston Montgomery Kirk. I don't know if that follows suit. I know Kirk you have. That is part of a Marquee Tee Time. We want Poston, who... $9,100. Wow. And then Taylor Montgomery, which was like 88, 89, 87, 86, 81. $8,100. So let's take a look. Can we actually build a lineup with these guys? So I will build like somewhere between 5 to 7 lineups. Mr. Daryl Mooney, it doesn't fit the SweetSpot rules. Let me take off one of them. How about we remove... You want to know why? It's asking for a 10K golfer. Let's remove the 10K. That's fine. We don't necessarily need a 10K. You might not need one for the optimal. Let's remove that whole aspect of it, and we still make it error out. So let's take one of the JT Poston. I'm just going to remove one of these guys just to see what it does. Okay. So instead of JT Poston, it's asking for Ricky Fowler to go with Taylor Montgomery. Now, if I were to put JT Poston in there instead of Chris Kirk, which I imagine it's going to want Chris Kirk because he's in the optimal line, or he's in a Marquee Tee Time. Let's take a look at this. And we get another one. We get Finau, Poston, Montgomery, Mitchell, Shank, Kuchar, which is a pretty solid cash game lineup, honestly. Leaving $700 on the table, that might be difficult to swallow, but it's definitely doable. You said remove Poston. Okay, I can remove Poston. I just want to do one more for you. Let's keep those two, not Ricky though, Chris Kirk, and remove Montgomery. Just give you a different flavor, different taste. And you get Poston, Kuchar, Cam Davis, Bo Hosler, Adam Schenk, and Matt Kuchar. Let me move this up. I want to see what it would look like if it was 49.6, what it would do. Still builds a lineup. Okay. Yeah, so you've got possibilities however you'd like to do it. These are some good options, by the way, but if you want Montgomery and Chris Kirk, I will build those lineups. So we'll do 5 to 7. First one we already saw, that's Ricky Fowler, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis, Taylor Montgomery, Beau Hauser, and Matt Kuchar. Let's go ahead. I'm going to save these and then we can review them because I know... oh my god, I can't remember who usually comes in and asks for me to review them. But usually I end up doing that. Oh, actually, let me catch up with chat. I didn't realize how many people came in. First round leader wants lineups. Lovely. Mr. D'Lo wants lineups. Love that. Josh, thank you for saying hi. You lurker, you. Joanne gives me some golfers. Love that. Did say welcome to Daryl. Mr. D'Lo says awesome. That was to the CSB thing. Josh Maz, thank you. You're welcome, sir. Mr. D'Lo goes, I've watched some of your old lives, impressive stuff, and trying to get more into MME contests. That's lovely, man. I'm all here. I'm here to help. All the best I can. FR leader, thanks. Big our Colts fan. That's Ryan, who is a GPP winner for the century, and he used one of our lineups. Hi, Eric. Hope all is well. It is well. Hope all is well for you. AJ Love goes, I am here. I'd like Im and Putnam lineups. Thanks. You got it, sir. And then, yeah. Okie dokie. So, second lineup, by the way. We're going back to Daryl's lineups. Ricky Fowler, Chris Kirk, Cam Davis, Taylor Montgomery, Adam Schenk, and Rio Histasune. I like that lineup. What do you feel about that one, Daryl? I'm gonna go ahead and just mark that one. We're gonna have to kick someone out. Who would you like kicked out? Because it wants to kick out Taylor Montgomery. If you don't give me a name, I will probably just kick out Rio. Only because there's not a lot of information on him. I like him, but just to move things along, I'll bring him back in, Daryl, if you want me to. But we're going to go ahead and move him out. I also probably need to change this back to 49.4. All right. The next lineup's Jason Day, Chris Kirk, Taylor Montgomery, Will Zalatoris, Adam Schenk, and Matt Kuchar. I don't mind saving that one. It says, I like it. I'm good with what you have shown. Cool. I'm going to kick out Kuchar. I don't mind going back to Kuchar for his miserable performance last week. I had 50% exposure to him last week. I was like, screw it. Just going to do it. I think I need to create a new rule. You know how I say never fall in love with a 6K golfer, but never disrespect one? So what I mean by that is like, don't play a 6K golfer 10+%. You know, like maybe 4% max. I think I need to do something like that with the 7K, with the 7K range. I think the 7K is probably what wins you GPPs. So if you guess right, it's perfect. But if you don't, you're hurt real bad. So maybe 7K, we just double 7 and say 14% is the highest exposure you want for a 7K golfer. How do we feel about that? 8 game, good evening. Josh goes, any best ball golf for Underdog? Are they legal in your state? I think they are. I kind of missed the ball. I should probably reach out to them and see if I can get some kind of partnership with them. But yeah, that looks like fun. Best ball, I feel like I'd be really good at that, honestly. But no, I kind of miss, I've been so busy doing other things. I have time to like update this, stream, but then I'm just building my database. I'm not really trying to do anything outside of that. I don't want too many distractions because I want to get this website up and running before the Masters. That's the goal. I'm working hard at getting that done, so that's what we're gonna do. Okay. This lineup's pretty good. I don't mind it. And I kicked Kuchar out, so we're gonna run another one. Ooh, we get Scheffler, Kirk, Montgomery, Suh, Lee Hodges, and Robert McIntyre. That's a really good GPP lineup. I really like that lineup a lot. By the way, when I build, so if you ask for my optimizer, I like doing this because it reminds me of lineups that I like and what I don't. If you were to build like several lineups in a row, it's an eyesore to see all the white, you know, and trying to find a lineup that you like through all that, probably pretty difficult. So it's my recommendation. All right, so we got Scheffler, Kirk, Montgomery, Shank, Suh, Hayden Buckley. I imagine no one's really going to go to Hayden Buckley after his missed cut last week. I think that's fine. Scheffler, Kirk, Montgomery, Shank, Suh, and Buckley. I like that. I like that a lot. And we'll build one or two more. Depends on how good they are. I should say it depends on how bad they are, really. So we got Scheffler, Kirk, Montgomery, Shank, Suh, and Kevin Streelman. So not much change. It's a bit of a core of 5. I don't mind it. Streelman's not terrible. I'm not sure exactly what Streelman's been up to lately, but for a wily veteran at a tournament like this, I kind of like it. Kind of like it. I didn't even realize we switched song or switched playlists. Next one we have is Cantlay. So we switched from Scheffler and we go to Patrick Cantlay, Chris Kirk, Taylor Montgomery, Shank, Suh, and Ryan Palmer. How do we feel about that, Daryl? That's not terrible. I don't mind it. I'll do one more because I'm curious. I want to see if it chooses Scheffler or Cantlay. It doesn't do either. It's Fowler. Fowler, Kirk, Davis, Montgomery, Noren, and Hodges. So Cam Davis shows up a lot in these lineups, and I actually don't mind it. I really don't. Oh, I guess I'm mistaken. There's 2 Cam Davises there. We've got a lot of Adam Shanks. A lot of Adam Shanks. Do we have Adam Shank in this one? We don't. So it's okay. I like it. Non-Adam Shank lineup. We're gonna move on to the next one, and that's gonna be Scotty Scheffler and Sam Burns. Now, is Shot Like Harden in the chat? I'm pretty sure Scheffler and Burnsy won him some money back in the day. I don't remember. Was it a GPP lineup, and was it for a Texas event? I feel like that's what it was, right? Or were it just bet? I think it was just bets, right? So we go Scheffler and Sammy Burns. Where are we at? Sammy Burns at 9,400, right? There we go. Let's see here. Vic Wirtz, you are welcome, sir. Appreciate you doing this, is what he says. I love doing it. I would be doing this if I wasn't streaming. I enjoy the streaming portion of it because it's a lot of fun. And it's fun to like jump into things and try to win some money while also like creating soundboards and stuff like that. So it's fun. It's fun. Ryan, I will get to that. You are like number 8 or 9 on the list, which is great. I love this. I love all the participation. Thank you all. My wife thinks you're hot. Can I buy her a SweetSpot DFS shirt? You certainly can, dude. You certainly can. Let me know a size. I do have female sizes, by the way. So if your wife wants one, certainly can. The shirts themselves cost like $12, but then they're shipping and handling. So if you were to give me 15, like that'd be totally fine. I can send you one and I can send her one. Men's, right now I'm out of mediums. I could be out of larges. I might have 1 or 2 left. I certainly have XLs left. I have double XLs left. And I don't remember if I have triple XLs left, but I think I have those. And then in female sizes, I think I have 1 medium, 1 large, I think, left. So you let me know. You can email me, by the way, at sweetspotdfs@gmail.com, and I can certainly send it that way. I unfortunately don't have 4X. So when I made the first order, I reached out to see how many people were interested in buying the shirts and stuff like that. And I got some takers. I got like 10 to 12 takers that wanted shirts. Nothing was more than a 2X. So when I went on there, I basically looked at all the sizes, and 3X I think was the highest in the brand of shirt that I bought. So like I was interested in buying a more fitted shirt, and I was also interested in buying kind of a recycled t-shirt. And neither of them had like, you know, 4X or greater. So Ryan Henson also asked me if I had that size too, and I just don't, unfortunately. Hey, somewhere in the future, I will probably do another drop. I'll give you all the capability, because I think I'm gonna make a white shirt that has this logo on it. Also, I don't mind the badge to go along with it. I can certainly do that. And I'll probably have a poll. Like, I'll probably do a live show like this and just ask you what you all are interested in. And then we can go over sizes and stuff like that. So, moving on. Scheffler and Sammy Burns. Let's build some lineups for Shot Like Harden. Are you still here, sir? Scheffler, Burns, Mitchell, Kuchar, Suh, and Zach Blair. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I probably wouldn't really go with Mitchell. Don't really necessarily care. I shouldn't say that. Kuchar. No. I don't know if I'd really go with Mitchell. Zach Blair, I like. If we see a lot of Kuchar and Mitchell in these lineups, Shot Like Harden, if you're still in the chat, let me know. And I will remove certain golfers you'd like me to remove. But outside of that, I probably remove Kuchar or Mitchell. This new lineup has Scheffler, Burns, Schenk, Kuchar, Suh, and Tyler Duncan, which is not terrible. I personally, like, we're seeing a lot of Suh and Kuchar. I wouldn't want to put those guys together. And like, these are going to be the main three that show up in all of these lineups, because at their price tag, they're probably the best value to build lineups around. But I don't mind this one. I don't mind it. If I see another Kuchar lineup, though, I'm going to kick him out. If I see another Suh lineup, I'll probably kick him out. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go down. Let's remove Kuch. Unless Shot Like Harden says no. But he is MIA. Can't believe it. He just comes in like, give me a lineup, and then just leaves. Oh. Unbelievable 8 game, I tell you. Yeah, just let me know. I gave all the sizes. We have Scheffler, Burns, Schenk, Hisasune, Smalley, and Harry Hall. I like this lineup minus Harry Hall. But again, never disrespect a 6K golfer, so I think I gotta save it. I actually like it. I'm gonna go back and highlight it. Next one, Scheffler, Burns, Mitchell, Schenk, Hisasune, Ches, Reavie. I don't like that one. Again, don't disrespect a 6K golfer, but I can't respect that one. I don't want it. I'm not going to save it. I'm really thinking about kicking out Mitchell. If I see Mitchell one more time, we're doing it. AJ, you're really super interested in the Scheffler Burns combo? Yeah, it's a good combo. I'm also interested in it. Yeah, okay, so Mitchell's getting out. Hayden, I don't like wasting a Hayden Buckley lineup like that. I don't, you know, this is a tournament that I've heard in the past, like a Keith Mitchell would be good at because he gets to network and he's more of a business person. If you didn't already know that, there was a, I can't remember if it was last year during the playoffs or the year before, but when the playoff event was held in New York or in the Northeast, he stopped by the stock exchange and the New York Stock Exchange and had a thing there. I don't remember. I just remember seeing him up in one of the top rooms, popping champagne or something like that because of some business deal. I really don't know. But Cashmere Keith, smoozing up with some rich people is right down his alley. So this could be a Keith Mitchell spot, could be, but I'm gonna just ignore it. I don't. He played well last week. He could be one of the last week ones. I think he finished top 20 last week. No, he didn't. All right, he fell backwards. How disappointing. Anyways, moving on. Scheffler Burns combo. This is a pretty decent one. Scheffler, Burns, Taylor, Hisasune, Suh, McIntyre. Yeah, sign me up. That's a really good lineup. You get to access a little Rio Hisasune. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue rostering him or Mr. Shalak Harden. Oh, he just got back. So, what you missed, Kuchar and Keith Mitchell. Do you like either of those two? Because I kicked them out because they keep showing up. And also, Adam Schenk keeps showing up. Do you want any of those guys back in your lineups, kicked out of your lineups? Because I don't have Schenk currently kicked out. Let me know. Oh, don't like either. Schenk as well? Oh, you like Schenk. Okay. So how do you like this lineup? Probably nothing with Nate Lashley. Do you like Rio Hisasune? Because he keeps showing up too. I don't mind it with Nate Lashley. I guess it's not a big deal. Sure, I'll save it. All right, I'll do 1, 2, 3 more. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of Hisasune. And to AJ's point, I do think he'll be chalk because you've got all of the top industry leaders talking about him. It's whatever. But it could be the event. Don't like Hisasune? Okay. I was going to say it could be the event. Do you like Bob Shelton? Should I take Bob back? Should I bring Bob back? Should I show you Bob back? Then that doesn't work. Hisasune is getting the axe done for. If you give me that you want Bob to be, you know what? Let's just do it. Just bring him back without your consent. You like Matthew Pavon? Yeah, I actually like Matthew Pavon as well. All right, we get Scheffler, Burns, Thompson, Schenk, Suh, Hayden Buckley. I feel like that's a bummer that Buckley gets wasted in this lineup. How are we feeling about Justin Suh? Shalak Harden. I feel like maybe we just get rid of Justin Suh. Like, is he already in a few lineups of yours? So it starts here, Scotty and Sam Burns. We got Suh. We got 4 Justin Suhs. Yeah, I think we probably remove him. Just to see 1 or 2 more lineups that are just a little bit different. I know, like, a lot of people are talking him up this week because he's from Vegas, plays well in the desert area, and that's where we're at, but whatever. I don't care. 2 more lineups for you. I don't mind it. Scheffler, Burns, Thompson, Schenk, Taylor, Hayden Buckley. Now, we all know this is documented. I hate when price tags are together. If I see another one, we're moving it. Shalak Garden repeats the same thing. I had 30% Suh last week. He killed me. Okay. Suh has a chance. This combo is ugly, to be honest. Ooh, those are fighting words, AJ. Fighting words. All right, so I'm moving Davis Thompson from the list. You made my list. Name where that's from. You just made the list. Ooh, I like this. Scheffler, Burns, Zalatoris, Nick Taylor, Dylan Wu, Toasty. This is your GPP winning lineup. I'm calling it right now. Of all the lineups that were built, this is your best one. And one more for the road. Scheffler, Burns, Cam Davis, Shank, Grayson Murray, David Lingmerth. Sign me up. I like that lineup a lot. I don't really care for Lingmerth, but you know what? It works for me. All right. Charlie Carden, I know you'll be in chat for a while. We can come back to lineups you'd like a little bit later. We're going to go with first round leader. Scotty and Wyndham Clark. There we go. A little Scotty Wyndham Clark action. Scheffler, Clark, Cam Davis, Mitchell, Kuchar, and Lingmerth. Go figure. We just had Lingmerth in the last one. First round leader, if you're still in the chat, let me know. Do you like Kuchar? Do you like Mitchell? Might as well say, do you like Suh and do you like Shank? Because those 4 7K golfers are going to show up a ton in the optimizer. Next lineup is Scheffler, Clark, Mitchell, Shank, Kuchar, Harry Hall. There we go. See, seeing the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to save this one. I don't like, because personally, I don't want that many 6K golf. Like, I don't want to have that much exposure to 6K golfers. So we're just going to keep that alone, or just keep it away. Don't like Mitchell, Kuchar, or Lingmerth. Okay, so we can remove Mitchell and Kuchar. Lingmerth we kicked him out a while ago. All right, so we got Scheffler, Clark, Putnam, Mitchell, Kuchar, Blair. I'm just going to save it because it's different. Just because it's different. Scheffler, Clark, Zalatoris, Shank, Justin Suh, Robert McIntyre. It's a pretty good lineup. Again, you're going to have to let me know if you like Suh or Shank, because now those 2 golfers will be the next 2 7K golfers that will be popping up in the optimizer. I read a rumor that Wyndham might go to Live. Not sure how true that is. That'd be interesting, right? Wyndham Clark kind of just came onto the scene last year, winning at the Memorial and then the US Open, and then just being like, you know what? I've done enough on the PGA Tour. I'm going to go to Live. Depends on how much money, I suppose. I don't mind this lineup. That's a lot of Shank Suh, and I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, you like Suh and Shank? All right, sounds good. We can save a lot of these lineups then. Ooh, I like this. This is really different. Scheffler, Clark, Eric Cole, Justin Suh, Lee Hodges, and Hayden Buckley. I like that lineup. Yeah, okay. So if Willie Z shows up again, I'll kick him out. Same lineup, the same 5 golfers, but then we put in Kevin Streelman instead of Hayden Buckley. Which is very similar to like the lineups down here. Scheffler, Kirk, Montgomery, Shank, Suh, and then those 2. No Shank though, but a Suh. What's up? All right. Let's try again. There's Willie Z. I like that lineup a lot. This is my favorite lineup built, and I'm sorry that Willie Z's in there. This is the second time that I'm going to be highlighting Alejandro Tosti. All right, so we'll kick out Will Zalatoris. Try it again. We get Scheffler, Clark, Shank, Hisasune, Suh, and Lashley. Not terrible. I'm not going to save it. Too much Nate Lashley for me. Scheffler, Clark, Shank, Hisasune, Suh, Charlie Hoffman. I don't think this is a Charlie Hoffman course or a tournament. I don't mind Charlie. If Charlie Hoffman, if this was like any of those Texas events or even another shorter event, so this is something I like. I like Ryan Moore. That's a pretty good one. Shank, Hisasune, Sa, Ryan Moore. All right, we'll build one more good one. You can let me know if you want Shank, Hisasune, or Sa out of here. Charlie Harden goes, I really like Thompson and Hodges in the 7K range. And AJ Love, who was saying fighting words earlier about the Burns Scheffler combo, not liking that, hits up Shot Like Harden by calling him shit like Harden. I agree. I don't know if that was a mistake or if that was more shots fired. Do I have a rivalry happening in my chat right now? Is that what's happening? I didn't know you had enemies, Shot Like Harden. Jeez. All right, so with Hisasune out, we get Scheffler, Clark, Davis, Grayson Murray, and Ches Reavie. You know what? I already kicked out Ches Reavie once. We'll save this one with Ches Reavie in it. And then just one more. I'm not going to save the next one. That was a total mistake. Sorry. I thought me and AJ were boys. And then Josh goes in, LOL, no fighting. Yeah, come on, boys. No fighting. Scheffler, Clark, Putnam, Shanks, and Scott Stalling. I actually really like that one. So I'm going to save that one. And I'm actually going to highlight it because I like it a lot. All right, going on to the next one. Thank you, first round leader. We can do more lineups later if you want. We'll remove those. We have my next one on the list, which is Mr. D'Lo. Mr. D'Lo, are you still here in the stream? I really like this combo. This is a hell of a combo. Tony, the Tiger Finau, and Mr. Eric digging the coal. I don't know. Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So let me know if there are certain players that keep showing up, like what we've already been seeing, whether it's Mitchell, Kuchar, Sa, or Shank. Those 4 7K golfers keep showing up. So if you don't like any of them, let me know and we'll kick them out. With the combo that we have between Scheffler, Finau, and Cole, we get Justin Suh, Robert Mack, and Carson Young. I like that lineup a lot. It looks like Justin Suh's he might be your glue going forward. So let's if you don't like Suh, let me know. But then there's Mitchell. Basically the same lineup. Bobby Mack showing up with both Mitchell and Suh, and then some other random low 6K golfer. No Kuchar or Suh. You got it. So we can be proactive and just kick out Kuchar and Suh. And move on. It's all good, dude. It's all good. I'm talking to AJ Love about the his last comment about the optimizer lineups were looking ugly. No. We gotta give Shot Like Harden shit whenever we can. I mean, whenever he's acting up, I think we just start calling him shit like Harden. I think that's gonna be the new trend going forward now. It's gonna be a new SLH. That's his alter ego when he's misbehaving. All right, so we get Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Mitchell, Buckley, Ches Reavie. Do we like that lineup? And do you like Mitchell? Because now I think Mitchell's going to show up a lot. And that's totally fine. If you do, I'm not trying to convince you one way or the other. best lineup with all golfers under $8,300. Oof. I can try that later. Remind me after I get through some of these lineups. I am interested. That'd be fun to do. Is this too much 6K? No, I think having two 6K golfers is going to be very helpful. I went over it during the Pass Optimal and GPP winning lineups. You like Mitchell, long hitter for par. Okay, perfect. Then yeah, this is great. I have a weirdness with price tags that are the same. So I wouldn't save this because of this, but Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Mitchell, Streelman, Ches. What the hell? All right, I'm gonna kick Ches Reavie out and bring back Buckley and Streelman. Just it ain't happening for me, Ches. It's not happening for me. AJ Love goes, it's 10.98.776 process. It's impossible. What's impossible? To build that this week? Oh my good God. Hey, Jason Duffner has played well here before. If you want a low price flyer, I don't mind Jason Duffner. So we're saving this lineup. I like it. We have Robert McIntyre to go with the rest of them. Oh, Eckroat's in this one with Harry Holland and Hayden Buckley. These are lineups, dude. I'm digging this. No chesticles. I like it. Streelman. Okay, so I wouldn't want Harry Hall that much. So I'm actually going to go ahead and kick Harry Hall out. And sure, I'll bring back Streelman just to make sure we still have our glue pieces. Here we go. Perfect. Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Lee Hodges, Robert McIntyre, and Zach Blair. I like that. Ryan Brem, I don't know. So Robert Mack is showing up a lot, so. Yeah, I like Eckroat. Dude, okay. I want to show you guys something really quick. I actually like this lineup a lot as well. Wednesday or Thursday morning, since the event was in Hawaii, I didn't really think about this, but as I was going through, this is the Sony Open I have up right now. I go, so salaries top to bottom. I was really just looking at this range. Oh, this is 2023. Did Kuchar actually have a 7th place finish? Oh, he did. He went 7th and then 7th. 2024 is actually what I'm looking for, not 2023. So I was looking at the 7K range and I was seeing trends. You remember when I used to do this way back in the day? I was looking for combinations where I would look at, you know, like last year to combine with last week. And I did the combo buckets. I noticed something with like Keith Mitchell and Taylor Montgomery. It's not so much with those guys, but it was a 7K golfer with the last year finish inside the top 20. Like if I go back to 2023, let me take the filter off of this. And like I go find a 7K golfer like Hayden Buckley. He was 12th set in the 7K range. Kuchar was in the 7K range, finished 7th the year before. If I go to 2020, I noticed the same thing. Keith Mitchell fell in that bucket. He was like the only one. Also, by the way, 8Ks with that last year bucket one also were doing well. Like Brennan Steele in 2021 had a 2nd place finish. And so I was thinking about, okay, let me find some of these guys. And, you know, I didn't want more than 2. I definitely wanted at least 1. Trying to find some of the other good golfers. Can't remember if it was like finding a top 20 the week before as well. That was something else that we wanted to look at. but that's primarily what I was looking at. So I started building lineups. I wanted to put as much Taylor Montgomery in there as possible, and then I think it was it was a golfer right next to his price tag. I think it was Austin Eckroat. So I think it was Austin Eckroat, and I think it was Taylor Montgomery I wanted to build lineups with, but the optimizer wouldn't allow me to. It didn't like both of those guys together, and it's kind of funny because, sure enough, I mean, Taylor Montgomery is the only top 20, but Eckroat, yeah, he was doing well for a while. I had some Nick Taylor lineups. I'm just like, nope, not doing Nick Taylor. Bias can just be a son of a bitch, honestly. And I mean, like, my stupid optimizer loved Matt Kuchar, who missed the cut, played miserably. Stupid. It liked Andrew Putnam, who finished 10th, but I figured, oh, I don't want that much ownership, you know, that kind of stuff. So anyways, yeah, you just reminded me of that kind of stuff. So first round leader said, just to clarify, that's not because I'm afraid of giving up any sort of advantage, but rather because I don't want to be responsible for someone else losing money. That's fine. Oh, and you say I don't make any first round leader bets until Wednesday night. Usually I also don't like giving out picks. Yeah, but Charlotte Cardin loves losing money. He doesn't call it losing money. He just calls it giving to charity. He just wants more ways to give to charity. That's all. And it's not really giving to charity, it's giving to the books, but you know what I'm saying. All right, back to building lineups. Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Hodges, McIntyre, Nate Lashley. I do like that one. Let's build one or two more. Sorry, Mr. D'Lo. I got sidetracked doing that other stuff. Lee Hodges is showing up a lot, so I'm actually gonna kick out Lee Hodges. Not that I don't like Lee Hodges, I just don't want him to show up that much. Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Mitchell, Stallings, Peter Malnati. Sure, I'll do a Peter Malnati lineup. I don't mind. And one more. Nope, we don't want Tyson Alexander withdrew last week after making the cut. No idea why. Interesting. Higo, McIntyre, Charlie Hoffman to go with those three. I'm gonna actually kick out McIntyre. That's too much Bobby Mack showing up. I actually have him owned right now in 23% of the lineups that I've saved. So that's not super great. Ooh. This is an interesting lineup. Primarily because Martin Laird has won the Shriners. There's a lot of comps of the Shriners golf course to this one. Mostly because of Tom Kim, but super interesting nonetheless. I don't mind it. Sure. I don't know how many Party Marty lineups I will have, but I have to be up early for work. I'm off to bed, but I'll check the rest tomorrow. Have a blessed night. Awesome. Thank you, 8Game, for making an appearance, for chatting. Have a good night yourself. Look at this one. Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Mitchell, Merritt, Kisner. Sure. All right, that's enough lineup saved. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you, Mr. D'Lo. Got to get through some of these. I can always come back later on. We're going to go to Joanne's, Im, and Poston. All right, Sungjae, where are we, pal? 10-1. Wow. Okay. Sungjae M and JT Poston. Joanne, are you still in the chat, by the way? If you're still in the chat, let me know how your feelings are about Matt Kuchar, Keith Mitchell, Justin Suh, and Adam Schenk, as they're going to show up a lot. I can be proactive and just kick them out. But let me know one way or the other. I'm actually going to save this one because it's a pretty solid lineup. Ooh, Sam Ryder showing up to the picture. First Sam Ryder lineup, or spotting, I should say. All right, Joanne. Let me know what your thoughts are about Kuchar and the sort. Did I already save this one? Let me know how you feel about Kuchar, Keith Mitchell, Justin Suh, and Adam Schenk. If you want me to kick any of those guys out, I certainly will. All right. For the 14 users that show in my chat, respond to the chat with your favorite golfer this week, and you will get an additional entry into the giveaway. I will add an additional entry into the giveaway for next week. You give me your favorite golfer this week. You know what? Let's be nice. Let's give 8 game since he went to bed. We'll give him another entry. Or not another entry, but we'll give him an entry. Anybody else? Says I have 14 viewers. First round leader. There we go. If you want your chance to get another or an additional entry or just an entry, go ahead. Josh Maz. Knew you were still lurking. I knew it. Well, we got 7. We have 7. All right. I'll pull up the keep them coming. Whoever's in chat, let me know and I'll add you. Okay. Joanne says yes. Okay, not this week, all 3. Okay. So we're going to kick out Mitchell. We're going to kick out Kuchar. And you said all 3, but I think I said 4 of them. Do you like Justin Suh and do you like Adam Schenk? Oh, Ryan's in there. Let's just do this. I'll keep running these. I'm waiting for Joanne to let me know about Adam Schenk and Justin Suh. Ooh. Here's an interesting one. M. Poston, Wyndham Clark, Willie Z, Adam Schenk, Buckley. I like it. Good little jingle that goes with it. Sung J M, Poston. Yeah, we did that one. Charlie Carden, it starts the waste management. No, Schenk has not made the cut. Okay, so no to those 2 as well. It's kind of what you're saying. Well, I'm going to go to White Bat Audio. And let's try a new playlist. '80s crime thriller. See how this one goes. All right, so we're gonna remove Shank and we're gonna remove Suh. This lineup's not terrible, but since I just saved one with Hayden Buckley, I don't know which one's better. One with Streelman or one with Buckley. Not sure. M. Poston Clark, Davis Thompson, Nick Taylor, Alejandro Tosti. Do we like Wyndham Clark, Joanne? Because he's now showing up a bunch. Do you like Wyndham Clark? Going to be a fun lineup that wins this week? Yeah, it could be. Don't disagree. Let me know how you feel about Wyndham Clark, because he's showing up a lot. I think I want to bring back Toasty. If you like Clark, I'll keep Toasty kicked out. Note to self, don't drink like an idiot. All right. So we're going to kick Clark out and bring in M. Poston, Cam Davis, Bo Hosler, Nick Taylor, and Robert Mack. I don't mind that lineup. M. Poston, Davis, Hosler, Taylor, Palmer. This is interesting to have swallowed incorrectly and try to talk afterwards. Not super easy. M. Poston, Davis, Hosler, Taylor, Palmer. I like that. I like that lineup. Ooh. M. Fowler, Poston, Taylor, Smalley, Toasty. I like that lineup a lot. That's one of my favorite lineups from this combo, Joanne. Sungjae, Ricky, JT, Cam Davis, Grayson Murray, and David Lingmerth. Yeah, you can sign me up for that one too. I do not mind that one. Okay, we switch it up a little bit. M. Finau, Poston, Davis, Grayson, and Ben Taylor. I don't know how I feel about that one. Boiler Bits, what's going on, man? M. Clark, Monty Putnam, EVR, Bez. You want me to throw that in the optimizer and just see if it works? I don't mind this lineup. Very different, very interesting. I gotta watch myself. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. How many lineups I build for you? We've got 8. I'm gonna pivot. I don't want, so I have enough Rio. I don't need any more of him. I don't mind Ben Martin. Bring back Carson Young. We like Carson Young. Sungjae, Fowler, JT Poston, Nick Taylor, Alex Smalley, and Chad Ramey. I don't know about Chad Ramey. Again, don't disrespect the 6K golfer. I like Stallings. This one is M. Poston, Davis Hosler, Nick Taylor, Scott Stallings. Yeah, I'll save that one. M. Fowler, JT Poston, Cam Davis, Matthew Pavon, Kevin Kisner. I don't really care for Kisner, but yeah, yes to the other 5. That's a good one too. M. Finau, Poston, Davis, Murray, Jason Duffner. I don't mind that one. How much Grayson Murray do I have here? 1 there. That's it? Sure. I'll save this one. It's a lot of Duffner. I shouldn't say it's a lot of Duffner, but it's a interesting amount of Duffner that's shown up. Oh my god, is the music really loud? I just noticed it was pretty high. All right, one more, just for good luck. One more. I can get behind that one. That one was for good luck. I like that one. All right, that's a lot of lineups we just built for Joanne. We'll move on to the next one. We don't need to investigate. Okay, so it's in Poston. Let's see, do we have more lineups? I think Ryan wants me to build some lineups for him. AJ Love, dude, you said Chris Jericho. I missed that. You're right. You're on the list. You got it. All right. I had to scroll up a little bit. Let me find. AJ Love is the next person to do lineups with. And then it's going to be Ryan Henson after that. So we are going to do M in Putnam. Where's Putnam? What the heck? There he is. AJ Love, you've made the list. Sung J.M., Wyndham Clark, Andrew Putnam, Will Zalatoris, Adam Schenk, and Matt Kuchar. Surprise, surprise. We see Schenk and Kuchar. So AJ, I'm going to ask you the same question I've asked everyone else. We can see some lineups built with them if you want, but do you like Kuchar? Do you like Keith Mitchell? Do you like Justin Suh? And do you like Adam Schenk? Because those are the 4 7K golfers that just seem to show up in every single lineup. It's that combo of 7K golfers. So we can be proactive and just kick them out. Or if you want to see some lineups built with them, we certainly can do that. I'm just gonna kick out Kuchar. We have Sungjae. Do you also like Wyndham Clark? Because it looks like that's a pretty popular golfer to go with Sung J M, since we did the kind of the similar lineups with Joanne. So we have Sung J M, Wyndham Clark, Andrew Putnam, Will Zalatoris, Adam Schenk, and Ryo Histasune. I feel like this lineup probably has over 100% ownership, like cumulative ownership to it. If we anticipate Ryo, pick Zal too. I don't love them, but they are better than me at golf. Okay. Willie Z, we can kick out. All right, we shall see. We'll see. I know if I put Kuchar in there, he's going to show up like all the time. Sungjae Fowler, Putnam, Davis Thompson, Adam Schenk, and Ryo Hisasune. Do you like Ryo? Because Ryo's showing up a lot as well. Who would you like kicked out of these lineups? Because we kind of got to figure that one out. You like that lineup a lot? Is there anyone you want kicked out? Thompson could go. Let me give my 2 cents on Willie Z. So it didn't look very good at the Sony. However, the one thing I noticed with Willie Z, at least the few holes that I actually watched him play, he wasn't hitting driver terrible off the tee. His swing looked fine. It looked unhindered. His putting stroke looked good. And I think he just was out of sorts a little bit. I don't think he's very far off. I think one of these next events, he could be just fine. And by just fine, finish inside the top 20. I'm not sure if that's this event, but I like this event way more than I like Torrey Pines next week. So if there was a time to get on Will Zalatoris, I think it's either this week or it'd be the Waste Management. Or the WM Phoenix Open. Kind of my 2 cents. Oh, this one has Steven Yeager in it. We haven't built a Yeager lineup yet, but this one seems like super chalk. It's fine. I don't care about chalk. We all know this. Who do we want kicked out of this? Your options are Clark, Yeager, Schenk, or Hisasune. I want what? I want 5-0 play in Poston Putnam. I don't know what that 5-0. Oh, Ryo. Okay, I get it. I want Ryo in Poston Putnam. So those 4. Just to confirm, you want me to lock these guys in? Oates is one of the better golfers of fall season. Fall season plays really good here. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't. Okay. I'm just going to see what these 4 golfers look like. I'll wait for you to answer me, AJ. You get Im, Poston, Putnam, Shank, Hisasune, KH Lee. That's not terrible. I like that lineup. No, not Rio. Poston. Oh, okay, okay, okay. We shall try again. Im, Finau, Poston, Putnam. Wow. Lee Hodges and Hayden Buckley. 1099, 876. Super interesting. Very, very interesting. Huh. I'm not sure how I feel about that, actually. No worries, no worries. No, that's fine. Sung J.M., Tony Finau, Poston, Putnam, Lee Hodges, Kevin Streelman. M, Poston, Putnam, Mitchell, Shank, Palmer. I actually don't mind that one. Yeah, that's fine. It appears that the servers for Microsoft are being busy right now. M, Poston, Putnam, Norin, Shank, Smalley. That's a hell of a lineup. I like that lineup a lot. One of my favorites. M, Poston, Lowry, Putnam, Mitchell, Reevy. Damn. Joanne says no Montgomery love tonight. Yeah, I think if we're gonna play any Montgomery, he's gonna have to be anchored around. Like the 7K golf, those 4 7K golfers that keep showing up, there are 5 really, because now you put Rio in there. They're the ones that the optimizer loves the most. M, Poston, Clark, Putnam, Gim, Toasty. Yeah, sign me up for that one. Like, I dug Gim at this golf course. I like a lot. All right, one more. One more. Joel Damon with Lee Hodges. I don't mind it. Oh my God. Yeah, I guess I got to save it. It's another good one. Just different, right? Different than the other lineups we've been doing tonight. All right, I'm going to do one more. I lied. We're doing one more. M, Fowler, Poston, Putnam, Gim, Chad Ramey. Okay, that was a good one to end on. I don't like Chad Ramey. All right, let's look at the next one. I think I said Ryan was next. I'm pretty sure. Mr. Ryan Henson, are you still in the chat? I'm very interested why you chose Matt Neesmith. You guys didn't know Ryan won a nice little GPP during the Century, and he brought in 2 golfers, and they came from articles that he was reading. He shared with me, but I'm not sure if that's where he got Neesmith from. Good luck, Joanne. Okay, Ryan is still here. Ryan, let me know. All right, so I'm not sure if there are other lineups underneath Ryan's. No, it doesn't look like there is. Okay, so we are already running at 2 hours. I'm going to call her quits pretty soon. But after Ryan's lineups, I just need to see if I'm missing anyone else. If there's anyone else after Ryan that hasn't had a combo built yet, let me know, and I'll build it. I'm just scrolling through the messages right now, and I'm not seeing anything. Like any combos to build lineups around. So outside of what's the name? I forget. Boiler Bits, right? I think Boiler Bits wants to see 5 golfers or 6 golfers together. If I can find it. There, I found it. Okay. So Ryan goes, he ranks high on course fit and in value for ship it. Okay. Alrighty. So we are looking at Finau and Neesmith. So Tony Finau, is it him that ranks high? Where do we have Neesmith? In the 6K range? Yep, there he is. Never fall in love with the 6K golfer, but we haven't really seen much Neesmith, so we can figure it out from here. Scheffler, Finau, Mitchell, Kuchar, Suh, and Neesmith. There we go. We got Mitchell, Kuchar, and Suh, which we're going to see a lot. Do you like that combo of golfers together? I'm actually going to save it because the optimizer keeps spitting out these 3 golfers, and I'd hate not to be on them if the optimizer's like, hey, you know what? These are the guys. And it's the first lineup built with Ryan Henson. Usually is a good omen. Neesmith, I took my first GPP down with Finau here. Okay. All right, you need to let me know between Mitchell, Kuchar, and Suh. Who we want to kick out. Kick Kuchar. You got it. Now keep that in mind because those guys are going to continue to show up. And so too is Shank. And so too is Ryo Hisasune. So sure, why not? But let me know who to kick out of these lineups. Pixar. Yeah, just remember it's going to be those same 7K golfers. So if you already know you want some of them kicked, let me know. It's an interesting lineup. Scheffler, Finau, Mitchell, Shank, McIntyre, Neesmith. 10-9-7-7-6. Or I'm sorry, 10-9-7-7-6-6. Very interesting. Mitchell, Shank, McIntyre, who would you like kicked? It looks like you're just going to get all the Scotty love because no one likes an 8K. Unless you want me to make sure I select an 8K because I can control that down here. But right now the optimizer just says 0 to 2. Would you like to see an 8K golfer in your lineups? Let me know. Or we can certainly kick these guys out, or if you want me to anchor around any of these 8K golfers, I certainly can. Pick out Robert Mack. Okay, so I have a feeling that you don't care, or I should say that you do like Mitchell, Shank, and Hisasune. I imagine. It's kind of what I'm getting the vibe with you. You can also add Siwoo at 8K. Okay, yeah, we certainly can. Interesting lineup. I'll save it. So we add Siwoo to the mix. Do we break the optimizer? We do not. Instead, we get Cantlay, Finau, Siwoo, Hisasune, Lee Hodges, and Matthew Neesmith. Who would you like kicked out of this lineup, sir? Probably just, we don't have to kick Cantlay out. That's not going to change much, but would you want Hisasune or Lee Hodges kicked out? All right, Lee Hodges getting the kick. We have Jason Day, Tony Finau, Siwoo Kim, Keith Mitchell, Ryo Hisasune, Matthew Neesmith. Interesting lineup. Very, I feel like that could be chalk. Not Jason Day, but 49.4 is our minimum salary. I wonder. I don't want to save this lineup. If I have 49.4, I'd rather see a 10K with two 6Ks. That's the only way I would want to save it. Something that leaves $600 on the table. Who'd you like kicked out? Gabe Brown. Dang, you guys still going? Haven't done a lick of research as I'm in Florida for training. We are still going. This is probably the last lineup. Yeah, this is the last lineup build. Can't remember. Did you leave golfers that you wanted me to build lineups around? I didn't see. Kick Rio. Finau Fowler, Wyndham Clark, Siwoo Kim, Grayson Murray, Matthew Neesmith. That's a hell of a lineup. I imagine Grayson Murray, you give him the kick. Okay. No worry, Gabe. I probably have like, let's do 2 more lineups. 2 more lineups for Ryan, and then we're going to get out of here. I think we just kick out Grayson Murray. I imagine that's what's going to be next. Day, Finau, Kim, Norin, Mitchell, Neesmith. There's a lineup. Very interested in that lineup. Don't have a lot of Jason Day, so I don't mind it. I'm actually going to change this back to having one 10K golfer, since that is what the original optimizer wanted. And there we go. I do like having 2 6Ks, so something like this I like a lot. I don't think it's going to be Kevin Streelman, though. That's too much Kevin Streelman for my taste. And if the next one's Hayden Buckley, we'll kick Hayden Buckley out. It's not. Oh, yeah, we can get down with this lineup. This is a really good lineup. You too, Gabe. Good luck, sir. Who would you like kicked out of this one? Gabe, you take care and good luck. This is not a soundboard. It's just a soundboard. It's just a soundboard. All right, I can bring back Grayson Murray if you'd like. You said kick out Norin. Let's kick out Taylor as well. Kick Toasty. All right. All right. All right. All right. You got it. All right. There's Grayson Murray. Who do you want kicked out of this? This will be the final lineup. So Ryan Henson with the final lineup of the night. Oh, I got to do the Boiler Bits thing. I'm just gonna put that together and see if it works out for Boiler Bits. If it does, wonderful. If it doesn't, we'll let them know. Kick Murray. You got it. All right. So final lineup of the night. Very interesting. Cantlay Finau, Siwoo Kim, Mark Hubbard, Matthew Pavon, Matthew Neesmith. I'm going to save it. I'm going to kick out Hubbard because I just want to see one more. It's very interesting. What do you think, Ryan? Who do you like more, Hubbard or Pavon? I just made an executive decision because I want to build one more and see what it does. Harry Hall. Gross. Let's change this back to 49.6. Let's try it again. Sungjae, Finau, Kim, Horschel, Shank, Matthew Neesmith. There you go. That's a pretty good lineup. All right. That is going to be it for me, folks. I'm getting a little bit tired. 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's pretty good. That's kind of the going rate. Oh, gosh, that's right. I keep forgetting about the Clark, Monty, that whole thing. All right, let's do that for Boiler Bits. I'll answer your question, Mr. D'Lo. So he wants to see Clark, Monty, Putnam, EVR, and Bez. Eric van Rooyen and Christian Bezuidenhout. Where are we at, EVR? There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $49.9. Okay, let's see here. So we look at the first bucket. It says we want at least one last year 1, no more than 4. So you got that covered. And then it selects 1 last year 2 and 1 last year 3. Despite this saying we want to select one, like somewhere between 1 last year 5 and last year 6, we can ignore that because everything else falls into these buckets. So that's fine. I'm cool with that. We chose 2 last week 1s. We only want 2 at most, so that's perfect. 1 last week 3. We only want 2 at most, so that's perfect. We have, we chose 3 in last week 6s. We want somewhere between 2 and 5, so that's perfect. Course history 2s follow. Course history 1s follow, I should say. Course history 2s follow. Course history 3s follow. Perfect. Strokes gain 1, that follows. 3 follows. We're not selecting 1 strokes gain 2, but everything else falls into the buckets. We have all of our buckets here. We have 2 golfers that are in the Marquee Tee Times. This lineup could do well. It follows the sweet spot process. It's not selecting 1 to 3, but we could have a last year 5 and a last year 6 finish inside the top 10 and not be in the optimal lineup. So it's possible, because that means then the sweet spot process so still would be 100%. What else do we see that we need to maybe consider? There was one other thing. Oh, strokes gain 2. So last year 5, last year 6, strokes gain 2. I think the best way to do this would be to go to the American Express. What did we say? We wanted a last year 5 and a last year 6. So we look at our last year 5s. Yeah, I would say you probably do want a golfer in here. If I saw a bunch of 10K golfers or maybe like 9K golfers that were expensive, I mean, I think having at least one of these guys is probably the way to go. And then a last year 6. Ooh, JT. Minwoo. Minwoo got no love this during this stream, by the way. I can't believe that. Who's the guy that showed up? Kuchar and Hisasune. Those were the two that kept showing up. But hey, like I said, you can certainly do it. I'm going to build one lineup for me. One lineup, the guys that I absolutely want in my lineup. I'm not sure if it's between Scheffler and Cantlay. I know I don't want, I mean, I don't mind Schauffele, but I'm going to say no to Schauffele. And I'm going to say no to him, but I'm going to make sure it picks one 10K golfer. So it's either Cantlay or Scheffler. I want Minwoo in my life and Eric Cole in my life. Those are the two guys I don't think I can play without, and I want them paired up with Scheffler or Cantlay. All right, so Mr. D'Lo goes, if you were to build 100 plus lineups, would you select a core and run 53 times? I do build 100 lineups, and I think the best way to try to target the optimal lineup would be to either have a core of 3 or a core of 4. I sometimes... so if you do core of 3 or core of 4, you're really narrowing down your player pools, and especially if you use the sweet spot process, you got to make sure you get those 3 or 4 correct. If you choose 2, like I normally do, because I won't lie, I'm kind of a chicken shit when it comes to like building a core of 3 or a core of 4, but I really truly think if you build a core of 3 or 4, that increases your chances of hitting the optimal lineup. And what I mean by that is, like, if you're wrong, you're wrong. But if you're right, you have the better possibility of being right. If I just choose 2 and I'm wrong with one of those guys, it just tanks it no matter what. So what's the difference of choosing 2 versus choosing 3 or 4? It's just, if I choose 2 and it's the right 2, there's the possibility the optimizer will select 3 or 4 for me, and that's perfect for me. So get cash suites of Spidey and hit the optimal line. Dude, shot like Harden, that's a sweet way of putting those things together. Thank you for that creativity. That's awesome. By the way, you get access to those emojis by becoming a member. Join the red tier, the white tier, or the black tier, or even the championship tier if you like to play from the tips. Like myself. Join those tiers, you get access to that, plus more. This lineup, I don't mind, but I don't, we're not going to go with Lingmerth. It's fine. Oh, I don't want Mitchell. I need to kick Mitchell out. I don't want I don't want Mitchell. That's too, well, I don't mind but I don't like Reevy. So let's see if shows up with someone else. Yeah, I don't want Kuchar. Kuchar's not going to be in my optimal build, but I don't mind playing Kuchar. Big difference. I don't mind playing Kuchar. Scheffler, Minwoo, Cole, Blair, Buckley. Yeah, okay. Blair can get kicked because that's way too much Blair. I do like Zach Blair, but not that much. Kim, Harry Hall. Not going to do Harry Hall. It's already going to kick out Streelman. That's totally fine. See, sometimes you got to go through the optimizer. Keep going through it just to see it run through all of its choices. And then pick your favorite one. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it, but it's also probably best to just let it do its own work and pick the golfers that are good. Not going to do Ben Taylor. That's fine. Wu, McIntyre, Troy Merritt. Yep. I like that one. We'll save that one. Let's try it again. Dylan Wu, by the way, I like at this tournament. Callum Tarrant, I like at this tournament. Keep going. Taylor Kisner. Nope. Duffner, sure. I'm gonna build 3 more just to hit that 69, and then we're out. Sub Malnati, nope. I already saved one Malnati lineup. I don't need to do another one. Cantlay, Minwoo, Cole, Thompson, Hoffman, Nate Lashley. Don't care for it. I like this one. This might be my favorite one. Scheffler, Wu, Cole, Mark Hubbard, Robert McIntyre, and Carson Young. You can give me Carson Young anytime. I'm kind of a sucker just because I know he can score some good points. I like this one as well. KH Lee, McIntyre, and Shelton. I'm not going to have a lot of Shelton, but in a lineup like this, I don't mind it. Ooh, Kevin Yu. I'm a sucker for as well. And Garrett Higo. Sure. No. I will not do Tyson Alexander until I know he's better. Not doing Brem. Not doing Haas. This would be a good course for Haas, but nope. Wu, Duncan, Lashley. Actually, that's not a bad one. I should have saved that one, but we're moving on. Hubbard, McIntyre, Zach Johnson. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good one right there. I'm going to end on that one. Scheffler, Minwoo, Cole, Lee Hodges, McIntyre, Justin Lauer. You know what? I'm going to add in Ryan's Neesmith pick. I don't mind that. Where's our boy Fee now? 9,300. How about we do that? This was the other kind of option I thought of. We'll do that with Neesmith. And I'm going to bring back some of the other guys. Like, by the way, I like Johnny Vegas this week. This is a good course for him. He usually plays this one pretty well. Lashley will keep there. I like Callum Tarran. I want Troy Merritt back available. Don't care about those guys. Lauer, I don't mind. Nah, never mind. Kevin Yee. Oh man, what happened to Kevin Yu last week? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Grayson Murray. Sam Stevens not terrible, but you know what? Grayson Murray, don't mind him. He's played well at this tournament before. Just letting you guys know. He was a first round leader a couple years back, 3 years back. There we go. I'm a big fan of Bobby Mack. Dylan Wu. I'm going to save it and kick out Dylan Wu. Probably Bobby Mack will be next. That's a lot of Bobby Mack ownership. 21%, by the way. Not good. Oh, yeah. Alejandro Tosti. Sure. I'm going to kick out Justin Suh. Scott Stallings, I don't mind, but I don't want the same price tag, especially in the 6K range. And just weird reasons why. Don't want Chad Ramey. I don't want Lee Hodges either, if I'm being honest. Nick Taylor, Toasty, Neesmith, Cole, Finau, Cantlay. I like that lineup a lot. But I probably don't want Taylor, if I'm being honest with you. Taylor's just, I can't get behind. Scheffler, Finau, Cole, Kazire. Probably not Kazire. Interesting choice, though. I like this, but I don't want Mark Hubbard. I like Matthew Pavon. I don't want Mark Hubbard. Cantlay, Finau, Cole, Pavon. That's right. I don't want Hodges. All right. 2 more. That's it. We're getting close. KH Lee, Toasty. Yep. Sign me up for that one. Remember, TPC Lee, we're at the TPC Stadium course. PGA West. Lee, do we kick him out? We kick Toasty out, right? All right, last one. There we go. Ryder I like, Pavon I like. Okay, cool. All right, guys. That's going to be it for me. Appreciate y'all staying on this late. All 11 of you still watching. Again, I'll try to push for channel memberships. Get those emojis, get the badge next to your name. There'll also be member only videos in the future, member live streams, member replay videos, stuff like that. So highly encourage you guys to do that. Outside of that, actually I'll speak to Ryan. Course history: try Cantley, Finau, Siwoo, Cam Davis, 2021 amazing. It's actually not terrible, but we're gonna conclude it right now. So thank you all for watching. Please leave a like on your way out, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.